Good morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming since 1998, but I still got plenty to work on. Today, I'm going to be practicing the drum kit, which I'm not very good at yet. Now, the book that I'm working on is 50 Ways to Syncopation. Inside of it, there are 50 ways to work on limb independence, and I'm working through that using Gary Chester's approach to limb interdependence that he talks about in New Breed 1 and 2. I highly recommend those books. Now, in these practice streams, I like to share what I'm practicing, how I'm trying to improve as somebody who's been drumming for almost 30 years now and been teaching for over 20 years now. Now, inside of here, there are over 400 live streams where you see me struggle with stuff and refine things to try and get better. I also have timestamps in there that show what kind of questions I'm answering, as well as in this drumming tips playlist, which has over 100 videos and over 14 hours of drumming tips from different questions that I've received across all the different chats that I've got on my other monitor over here. So if you want to learn how journaling can actually help you, which is using this kind of spreadsheet. Check that out. If you want to learn about exercises to improve your rolls and diddles, check that out. The very first thing I talk about is the title, and if it says "and other drumming tips," that means there are more things inside of there. Now, I'm going to be using some play-alongs. There's over 2,000 of them on my home tab of YouTube. So if you just scroll in here, there's chop stuff. I've actually got 10 shopping sprees that are going to be scheduled to release soon. 10 more. So a lot. Over 1,000 grid variations in here. This is where I'm going to be practicing today while I work on limb independence. I've also got a bunch of marching bass stuff, just under 500 exercises in there. Some drumline cadences, just under 400 technique exercises. So many you have to actually click to show all of the playlists. So if you want to work on your stick control or something, go to the stick control variations playlist. If you want to work on your endurance and speed, go to the endurance and speed playlist. And then right here is where you can find the 14 hours of drumming tips, some scripted lessons, and then all 400 plus live streams. Now, because I'm not good at limb independence yet, I need the great sage, Shia LaBeouf, to help motivate me to improve my playing. So Shia, you're here just in time to help me out. Thanks for stopping in. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success, while you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, yeah, Shia LaBeouf, I am tired of starting over. Thank you so much for motivating me. Okay, now, I've taken Don Moyle's book, 50 Ways to Syncopation, which I mentioned earlier. I put it into this spreadsheet. What this spreadsheet does is column A has, on average, how I'm playing for each one of these limb independence variations. So, for example, pattern number 2, which is where you're just basically doing ding, 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 ding. You're playing short notes on snare drum, so eighth notes. Long notes on bass drum. Okay, very basic limb independence way to read through some charts. And on average, it's technically proficient across all these times that I played through it. So it keeps track of like the average in terms of how it sounds, what my BPM is, how I felt while playing it, like was I making progress, was I having fun while playing it, etc., etc. So I'm skipping all of these ones that are technically proficient, playing the ink on the page, or musical. Why? Because I've graduated from those. We'll come back to them later. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm doing a practice stream, so I'm focusing on the ones that sound meh or needs a lot of work. This is not a me showing off doing drum covers kind of stream, which, by the way, that's illegal. I don't do that. That is violating the copyright holders of the songs that you're playing along to, which is one of the reasons why I don't do that. But I'm working on this pattern. It's linked right above me now. And this pattern, it can be played on the floor tom, but that's my table, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to play on the ride. So you just go 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. And while you put a hi-hat on 2 and 4 like this, and you read through the pattern in the charts on the snare drum. Okay, so the melody is in the left hand, while everything else is the ostinato. That's basically your metronome, okay? So that is a pattern that we're going to keep going. And the speed that I'm going to play this at is 7,000 beats a minute. No. So we're going to do it at 90. Cool. So I'm going to go... This is the link that's jaredoleary.com/drum. It's organized neater than I can on YouTube. So like all the chop exercises, all the grid variations, and then finally the limb independent section. But if you want to stay on YouTube, just go to the home tab. You'll find all the same content, just organized as neat as I can on YouTube. Okay, so permutations. This is what you'll start with. Straight charts, the exact same charts, but swung is right underneath it. Every one of these playlists has this video, how to develop limb independence on the drum kit. So you can see the steps to be able to get to, be able to read the charts. It doesn't take too long. It does take consistent effort, though. Okay, so I'm just going to pick a random chart, 31 through 35. Sure, sounds great. That's not the resolution that I'm looking for. In all of these thousands of play-alongs, they go up one click at a time, and we've got the BPM inside of the timestamps in the description. So if I want to play this at 90, I just click on 90, and then it gives you a few seconds to get yourself ready, and then you play along to it. So wish me luck here. 2, and 2. It's counting me off. Okay, so this is the pattern that we're going to keep playing the entire time while I try and read through this on the snare drum. Now again, I'm not good at this pattern yet, which is why I'm practicing it, but this is a warm-up. I haven't drummed at all in like, what, 2 or 3 days? 2, 1, 2, wish me luck. Okay, so it's way better than it was like a week ago and 2 weeks ago when we first started working on this. So huge progress, even though we're going 5 clicks faster than we did last time we did the drum kit stream. It doesn't feel completely out of control. 2, 1, 2, here we go. Trying to even out the doubles between my hand and my foot. They're slightly different, the interpretation of it. Ready? And oops, I can't read. Hooked on phonics. Need that refund. you might not do like a whole chart like this. That would be a little weird. You might do a measure like this. But the way that I'm practicing this is just get the coordination down. So I'm just reading through the whole thing. But you could practice like doing a different pattern and then every fourth bar, like play through this, like at the end of the line, as a fill. Why, hello! Alright, cool. So last chart. And then we'll stretch and massage. And then we'll play through some more limb independence patterns that are also not good yet. But this sounds way better than it did 2 weeks ago. 2, a 1, 2, here we go. Ah. Cool. All right. So, not bad, especially as a warm-up. And we sped her up, so it's mostly technically proficient. I had fun with it. So next time, I actually want to try it at 95, so we'll see how that goes. Playing it faster. But that'll be next time. Okay, so the next pattern that I'm going to do after I stretch and massage is 41.1. Let me paste it in here so you can see what that's going to look like. Give you a little bit of a preview. Okay, so let's stretch and massage now, and then we'll get into that in here in a second. So first stretch that I'm doing stretches the sides of the forearms. It looks funny, but there's a video on my home tab of YouTube. If you scroll all the way down to the tips and lessons section, under the drumming lessons playlist, it's called This Hand Routine Saved My Drumming, and it gives you better camera angles to see exactly what I'm doing to stretch the side of the forearm. If you do a rotary grip like traditional or like Stevens grip for mallets, I've also got stretch in there that helps with that, but I don't do those anymore, so I'm not going to worry about that. Now I'm going to stretch the underside of the forearm. Yeah. I'm just kind of pulling this back just a little bit. You can also do this on the wall. Good morning, Jeffrey. How you doing? You can also do this on your drum, your pad. Ooh, that feels great in my right arm. Why? Why is my right arm so tense? Probably because I didn't drum the last 2 days. Wah, wah. Now I'm going to stretch to the top side of the forearm. You could do it like this, just like pulling one at a time, but if you do it on your legs, it just goes twice as fast. Efficiency. And now I'm going to stretch thumb to thumb. Just doing finger to finger. Goes twice as fast that way. And then we'll do a quick massage routine, and then I'm going to play the pattern that's on the screen. So 41.1 is rough. It's actually playable now, but it is slow. I think I'm still at like 80, maybe 85. But, ooh, double pops. Enjoy that. It's, you know, a work in progress, hence why we're practicing it. Ooh, double pop again. You're welcome. Enjoy that. I know some people have an aversion to those popping sounds, and other people don't. So I apologize. Unsub. Jared Pop Knuckles. That's right. All right, so now I'm massaging. I'm just kind of going up and down the forearm. Trying to get relaxed. Loosen everything up. And then we'll massage the hand. And then we'll massage the fingers. And then we'll massage the fingernails. That was a joke. And then we're going to play a limb independence pattern. Another one. Feels good. All right. Now I'm doing the thumb is massaging the palm, and then the fingers are massaging the back side of the hand. I'm just kind of working my way around. Making my way down, down. Ooh. Feels good. I didn't do these stretches and massages the last 2 days while I didn't do a drum stream. I'm sorry. Hands, I failed you. Even on days off, I highly recommend doing this routine, but I did not, so I'm fired. Base the tip of each one of the fingers, massage it. A couple of times. At least twice, sometimes thrice. Depends on how your fingers are doing. Just kind of wiggle your way through it. Again, this hand routine, Save My Drumming, gives you a better view of all this. I'll actually show it to you here in a second, where you can find it. As well as, you know, thousands of resources for free. People will be like, Jared, you've made thousands of resources. How much money do you make a day on YouTube? Less than $1 a day on thousands of resources. Yeah. We're rich. All right. Last time I played through 41.1, I played it at 80. And it was meh. Start with the charts next time. Okay, so we'll try it at 80. And we're just jumping straight into it. We'll see how we do. Okay, so I'm going to show you on my home tab of YouTube where you can find that video that I was talking about. But if you scroll all the way down past all the thousands of exercises, inside of the tips and lessons section, there's the drumming lessons playlist. This has some scripted lessons that I've created with more to come. For example, like this one comes out Monday. I thought today was Sunday for a second. So stay tuned for that. But this one, this hand routine, Save My Drumming, this is 3 minutes. It just kind of gives you a good overview of all the stretches and massages that I just did, as well as some stretches and massages that I did not demonstrate. So you can check that out if you're interested in it. Okay, so under the limb independence section, so what I've been doing is starting with these permutations, which is like taking a couple steps back from what I was just doing. Now I'm going to attempt to just like read through charts at 80 beats a minute. Just jumping straight into this. So we just did 31 through 35. Okay, let's try 26 through 30. Sounds good. Okay, so in the timestamps, I'm going to say, hey, give me 80 beats a minute. And then it'll count off. You can't hear the play along because of a sync delay issue. So it's muted on your end, but when you know, practice it at home, you can hear it. 1, 2, ready, and a go, and... Okay, so this is all you're doing. Just straight 8th notes on the ride. You're filling in with the 16th notes on the offbeat in the foot. And you're also putting hi-hat on 2 and 4. 3, 4. Hi-hat. Hi-hat. 1, 2. Wish me luck. 1, 2. Here we go. Left off a note. I'm so sorry. Okay, so the hi-hat on 2 and 4 is the hardest part. There's a couple moments where I like left it off while playing through the charts. Here we go. I gotta focus. 2, ready, and... I was thinking about something other than my playing. I was thinking about how I worked with a teacher who owned a yacht. He was like a business consultant before he became a teacher. And it screwed up my playing. Why was my brain there? I don't know. 1, 2, ready, and... Okay. I like your emojis. Alright, we got 2 more charts. That was better. My issues right now are mental. So if I'm thinking about something else while playing through this or reading through it, it doesn't go good. But otherwise, if I'm able to focus, then it sounds okay. 1, 2, here we go. Okay, last chart. So this is better than it was a couple of days ago. And what, it was a week ago when we first started learning it, but it's still, like, the right foot is coming in a little bit late, like, this is a way over-exaggerated version of it, like swung. with the hi-hat at times on 2 and 4. 1, 2, here we go. Like I knew Susie, then you would like her too, like her too, like her too. If you knew Susie, like I knew Susie, then you would like her too, like her too, like her too. Little Easter egg. Ah. Ugh. The right foot keeps coming in late. Okay, so we were able to start with the charts that time, but it still sounds meh. So we're still struggling through it, but making progress on it. So like a week ago, it was out of control. And like now it's making progress. So it's getting better. I think maybe next time it'll actually finally be at a point where it sounds like it should. But it all depends on how much I'm focusing. Like, not only on other things outside of my playing, but the playing itself. If I focus too much on it while playing this, like 1 E and 2 E and like too much on that hi-hat and how it lines up with 2 and 4, it can just like sometimes mess with my brain too much. It's like it goes into system overload. But you know, that's why we're working on it. Some of the ones that I was working on like a month ago, like some of these right here, were also the same way, like this one. So this one was you play double time swung, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Well, you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. While you read through the 4/4 patterns on the snare drum, and while reading through it, you change every single bass drum, what drum you're gonna play on. So you'd be like. So when I first started doing this one, it was really hard because you're reading a 4/4 while playing a 3/4 with your feet. And like now I can actually do it. So the same thing with this. I know that in a couple weeks or maybe even a month, this will actually sound decent, but it takes progress to get there. Consistent efforts over time. All right, so the next thing that we're doing, this is actually a variation of 41. So instead of playing the pattern as 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and etc. Now I'm actually playing the ostinato on the left hand instead of on the right hand. So the right hand's playing the melody, reading the charts, but the left hand's gonna go 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, again with the hi-hat on 2 and 4, while you read through the patterns on the ride cymbal. Okay, so that's 42 from Dom's book, 50 Ways of Syncopation. Okay, so this one, we're actually gonna do it at 85, so we're speeding it up. Yay! Okay. And last couple times it was technically proficient. So let's go to a different set of charts. So I'm going to go back to the home tab. I'm going to scroll down. Whoop, not the left side, the right side. Past the chop stuff, past the grid stuff, inside of the limb independence section. And inside is here is where you can find all of the limb independence related stuff. There's also, 14 hours of drumming tips and thousands of grid variations, all that jazz. But inside of here, we're doing this at 85. Woo! I'm going to go to 41 through 45, just picking a random one. Keep picking a different set of charts every time you work through these so you can actually work on sight reading. That way you can sit down at a gig and be like, hey, show me the chart. Let's do this. 1 and 2 and a here we and a go and. Okay, this is the ostinato pattern. This is the part that just keeps repeating the entire time. So, the hi-hat on 2 and 4 is the weird part. 1, 2, we're gonna read this on the right hand on the ride. Ready? And. the bell. Ah! Don't worry, we'll fix it in post. This isn't live, right? Okay. Other than the hiccup there, I for some reason wanted to put the left hand on the offbeat. Turns out that's not how the pattern's written. Kind of important thing to consider. Chart number 42. 1, 2. 1, 2. Here we go. Tricky. I keep managing to miss my bell. I'm overshooting it. I adjusted the spacing on the ride cymbal, moved it a little bit over, and it's my muscle memory is no, that's not where it's supposed to be. So what I'm doing is on the longer notes, the quarter notes and longer, I'm sometimes just putting them on the bell. It just gives it a little more timbre, a little texture variety. Ready? And... that. Hello. I don't know what that means, but YouTube held it. It got blocked. Okay, 2 more charts. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and... a hard chart. This is not a cover stream, so a lot of drum kit players do covers on their streams. This is a practice stream where I'm showing you how I'm trying to develop limb independence, rather than trying to show off playing other people's songs, which is actually illegal, but I appreciate you asking the question. But that's not what this vibe is about. What I will do is practice and then answer questions about how to improve, because I've been drumming for almost 30 years and teaching for over 20. Not that it shows while I'm practicing something I'm not good at yet. Thank you for the like on the YouTube horizontal. Okay, so it was mostly technically proficient. There were some like hiccups in there every now and then, but mostly able to get through it. In fact, I think I could play it faster next time. So we're going to say technically proficient. I was making progress on it. And next time we'll try it at 90. Woo! Let's see here. If I do that, and then I do that. Yeah, I had a feeling. Goodbye, Kevin. People who harass me in the chat do not stick around long. Okay, cool. So we graduated from playing that today. We'll be back to it next time, though. Okay, so let's see here. How much time? I started late because like my Streamlabs, which is what I use to like set everything up, it was not connecting to my drum module, so can't really see it, not really. But the drum module, I was like, why is it not detecting it? So I'm like, just kept trying to problem solve. I have an extension cable to go from here all the way to the computer, and the extension cable is just like slightly not connected with it. Like it was still there. It's not like it was like completely disconnected. It was just like slightly pulled apart. And I kept trying to problem solve. It was like restarting the computer. Like, what is going on with this? Why won't you work? Well, you see, Jared, it helps when it actually is connected. Okay, this one. I haven't tried this one. Let's see. What is this one? 43. We'll do this one. And then I'll review one that I've already graduated from. Again, focus on the stuff you're not good at yet. So this time, last time I did it at 150, but I have no idea when I did this last. Okay, so Samba pattern. Okay, so it says ride cymbal on 2 and 4 in unison with the hi-hat. Okay, and then the snare plays the line. Okay, that's gonna be a little bit weird. But yeah, I think we can try it. All right, so 150. So we're going to go back to the home tab. And we're going to scroll down to the limb independence right here. And we're going to do this set of charts. Straight charts from 100 to 159. They start as slow as 40 and go as fast as 240. And then there's swung versions, the exact same charts, but all swung. And again, this is organized as neatly as I can on YouTube, but the link that's at the top, that takes you to a much better spot in terms of organization. I just did 41 through 45. Sure, we'll do 46 through 50. Again, keep switching up whatever it is that you're reading for the charts, so that way you're practicing sight reading while working on your limb independence. Okay, so I have no idea how this is going to sound, actually. I don't even know if I'll be able to play it. I assume it'll be okay, because the Samba pattern, we've graduated from several of those. Okay, so this is the pattern, the ostinato. The melody is going to be in the left hand reading the charts. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. read that wrong. I'm so sorry. Cut. Oh no, hooked on phonics. You failed me again. Okay, chart number 47. So limb independence wise, it feels okay. I'm just reading the patterns wrong, which is, that's a me issue too. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, maybe I don't need to run on hooked on phonics. It did better that time. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, here we go. Two more charts. It's, for having, like, not played this, not bad. It's because we're building off of the foundations we built with the other Samba pattern. Sorry, there's a bird that flew in. I don't know if you heard it. It was weird. It scared me. Messed up my playing. It like cawed too. It was like, ah! A 1, 2, here we go. Ugh. Okay, so these patterns, I haven't played this one before. So what I did is I just like went into this chart and put meh 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 as just like a placeholder. Like I need to at least play it 3 times better than meh in order for me to graduate from this. Because I haven't like played this one, it actually went better than I thought it was going to, but it's because it was building off of like all these other Samba variations where the feet is the same. Boom. It's just like, what are you doing with the hands is different. Like some of them, instead of playing on 2 and 4, like this with the right hand, you're actually 1, 3, 1, 3, while you're doing a press, hit, and press, and hit on the tom. Boom. So we've already got those patterns down. So because the feet are basically set in as a metronome, it's just trying to figure out what I was doing with the hands. I think next time it'll sound technically proficient, and so we'll be able to like go through this one much faster than these other ones that we started off with, which are way more difficult because they don't build off of any of these prior ones that we've already graduated from in all of this other stuff. Since we just played a Samba, do I want to do like another Samba that sounds more interesting? No, this one's calling my name. It's like, Jared, I'm your favorite. So at the end of the practice sessions, after you're done like grinding through stuff that you're not good at yet, play something for fun. And in this instance, I'm going to play a Baião pattern. So this is like my absolute favorite one to play. So you're going right, left, both. Right, left, both with your feet. While you play a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2. You can even, if you wanted to. However fast you want to go with it. Let's see. Last time we played through this, we played it at 7 beats a minute. Wow. No, last time we did this at 220, and it was meh, out of control. Okay, so let's back it back down to 210. Hey, thank you for the follow on Instagram. Okay, so we're going to go back to the home tab here. We're going to scroll down. We're scrolling down to the limb independent section, and we're going to try this at 210. So I'm going to go into the straight charts from 160 to 240, and I'm going to pick a chart that I haven't played yet today, 1 through 5. I know I haven't done that one yet. So inside of the timestamps, we're going to say, hey, I want to go all the way to 210. Oh, 1, 2, ready, and. Again, all these are play-alongs. They're muted on your end, but they're coming through my headphones. 2, here we go. It's fun, right? This one bops. A 1, 2, here we go. Leroy, hello. I agree. This is a dope pattern. Once you get comfortable with it, change the timbres and textures up a little bit on the snares, like add some crushes and stuff on the long notes. Ready, and... You can change the accents, the dynamics, all sorts of stuff. But when you're first learning these limb independence patterns, just focus on playing the rhythms, play the ink on the page. Yeah, see that one bops, right? It's such a cool pattern. Well, 210 sounded much better than 220. It was mostly technically proficient, also borderline musical at times, making it more interesting sounding. I had fun with it. So again, I spent the first 50 minutes of this practicing stuff I'm not good at. And then the very last thing that I'm doing, the last couple of minutes, I'm just playing through something that I already know how to play. All of these will eventually bop like the Baião pattern, but for right now, I'm focusing on these patterns that are meh on average. This is what column A is, or needs a lot of work. because I'm trying to improve this stuff. So when you're practicing, if you're focusing your attention on the stuff that already sounds good, guess what's not going to get better? The stuff that sounds bad. So focus on the things that you need to do to get better, to diversify your playing, etc. Okay? That's what I recommend. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Okay, so inside the Home tab is where you can find all these play-alongs. If you just scroll down, we've got chop exercises for all of you drumline folk like myself. Most of my drumming's been rudimental. So there's a bunch of chop exercises here. There's also over 1,000 grid variations that you can use. So inside of here, if you click, it shows you all the different playlists for triplets, 16th notes, some wacky ones like Herta Grid, etc. The limb independence. Every single one of these playlists has inside of it, as the second video, this how to develop limb independence on the drum kit video. I highly recommend checking that out if you are not sure how to develop limb independence. But if you watch these practice streams, you'll literally see me like slowly develop the limb independence for each one of these 50 plus patterns out of Don Moyo's book, 50 Ways of Syncopation. And so if you go back like 2 weeks ago and listen to like some of these patterns I was doing earlier, they sound terrible. And then you listen to it today and you're like, oh, there's huge progress being made. Sit with the stuff that you're not good at yet. Invest time into it. It'll get better over time. Marching bass drum. There's almost 500 exercises inside of all these playlists. There's a bunch of drumline cadences. There's computer science stuff because I'm a nerd. Technique exercises. There's almost 400 exercises in here. And when you click to expand, it shows you all the playlists. So if you want to work on endurance and speed for your hands or your feet, there's 61 videos inside of that playlist. If you want to work on your timing, there's a bunch of timing exercise. Or your roll exercises, there's a bunch of those. Or your 3s and 4 strokes, like I was doing the other day on a technique stream, there's a bunch of exercises in there that you can work on that. Now, in terms of tips and lessons, there's over 14 hours of drumming tips in here. Because I've been drumming since 1998, because I've taught every single grade kindergarten through doctoral student, I'll get people to ask me a wide variety of different questions about how to get better as a performer and an educator. So there's over 100 videos in here and over 14 hours of drumming tips from questions asked on the stream, like how much thumb do you use with traditional grip? That's the first thing I talk about. And then if it says and other drumming tips, that means there's more tips inside of there. What? Play what else can I do in drums, please? I don't know what that means. I'm assuming you're asking me to play a cover, but like I said earlier, this is not that kind of stream. All these practice streams shows like how I'm practicing and trying to improve, and then I answer questions. So the people who do cover streams are actually most likely doing something that is not legal. So they're violating copyright of the people who own the songs. Just because you play a drum cover on top of it, it doesn't make that okay to do. You actually have to get some licenses to publicly perform with somebody else's music, but that's a whole tricky side of things. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't do that on these streams. This is just me practicing, which is why the first word is practicing. So you can check out those if you're interested in it. Now, because YouTube like only allows me to organize it as neatly as I can, if you go to the very first link that's at the top of each one of these play-alongs, this is where you can find everything organized way neater in terms of here's all the chop exercises, here's the thousands of grid variations. So if you want to work on flam 5s, there it is for triplet, there it is for 16th note. And there's all these limb independent stuff, there's all the marching bass stuff, the drumline cadences, the technique exercises, and then here's all like the lessons on like how to hold traditional grip, things like that. So if you enjoy this content, share it with somebody else. If you don't enjoy this content, I don't know why you stuck around the stream, but you do you. It's your life. Anyways, I'm going to get ready for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is the third game in the Tomb Raider Survivor trilogy. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. Otherwise, I'll be back on working on a drumming technique tomorrow on some pads, and we'll be back on drum kit in 2 days, so on Monday. That's the plan. Hamster of the Apocalypse. Really, sorry, couldn't see it. Really cool to see someone practicing permutation exercises like this live. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's important for people to see that this is what practicing looks like. So, like, in all these live streams, even though I've been drumming for, like, almost 30 years now, I'm showing stuff that it's not good yet. All the raw, unedited, these are all public. You can hear me have myself on some of these patterns because I want to show that, like, just because I've been playing a long time, it doesn't mean that I still don't struggle with new things and have new things to work on. And back when I used to teach like privately and publicly, a lot of students that I worked with, they'd be like, well, you're just able to do this because you're just like born that way. You're really good at it. And it's like, no. I was terrible. Emphasis on terrible when I first started. And so like students weren't able to see what the practicing looked like. Like I can describe it to them, but it's important for people to be able to see it. So if anyone's interested in it, like you can see all of the stuff. Like this one I was working on Flam 5s. This one I was working on RCC's Mori Spree. We scroll further down. I'm working on Blue Devil's 2000 Spree. I'm refining limb independence patterns 8, 15, 16, 17. So like I want people to see that it's more than just the last take that you share on social media. Like I'm going to practice this 50 times, record it 50 times, and I'm only going to share the 50th. I'm going to ignore all the 49 times before it where I screwed up. I think that does kind of a disservice to younger and intermediate drummers who don't realize, no, this is what it looks like. This is called the grind. But anyways, I elaborate on that more in like the drumming tip stuff. So there's tons of videos in here. Again, over 14 hours of me responding to different questions and comments. But I'm going to call it. I like to do these streams for about an hour, and it's like almost exactly an hour. It's like I'm a drummer or something. Anyways, I hope you all have a good day. I appreciate y'all stopping in, and goodbye.